This is the Night Wolf howling at you, and today we're going to take a look at the Masterverse, Masters of the Universe, Fakor, the evil robot of Skeletor, part of the Vintage Collection. So these are the figures that look more like the original Vintage toys. So kind of like an upgraded Classics when you get right down to it. There's really nothing interesting on the sides of these boxes. However, on the back, we see Fakor is no He-Man. He's the evil blue robotic warrior of Skeletor. I don't know why I said it like that. And of course, our artwork does show Fakor fighting He-Man with Skeletor in the background. Skeletor looks like he might be holding a... looks like he's holding a sword of ancients, actually. And He-Man doesn't have his power sword. Of course, with Fakor, we can arm for battle, and it looks like he comes with all the same weapons as He-Man, which, as you may recall, the original Fakor did not back in the day. And you can reveal the robotic recorder inside. Back in the days when the height of technology was reel-to-reel tapes for memory on computers. And of course, there is only Fakor in this wave. In 1982, Masters of the Universe took the world by storm with action figures that captured the imaginations of people from here to Eternia. Today, the Masterverse celebrates the original designs as modern 7-inch scale action figures with the Vintage Collection. Let's go ahead and open this sucker up. You know, I gotta say, the shading on him looks really good. I think it turned out better than the shading on the He-Man head, to be perfectly honest with you guys. His accessories are He-Man's axe. It is interesting, though, that they went with kind of like a bronze-ish color more than the orange that he traditionally comes with. So it doesn't match that. So it is kind of weird. Like, I feel like this should match this or this should match this. You know what I mean? Like, maybe they should have just gone and done this color. And his hair is darker than what I would have expected. Of course, he has a power sword. I do like the wrapped handle on these power swords right now. And the shield, where he's got the rounded hold on there, so you can put it into the gripping hand. Instead of just using the slapping hand, as Ken from Retro Toy Escapades likes to call it. Boom! Smack! Smack! He's wearing Skeletor's harness, and then the rest of the body is He-Man's. Big surprise there, right? The real nice thing about this, though, when you look at this, that is not a sticker, and it is not just a deco. It is actually, you know, it is sculpted in there like that. So that is really well done. High class job on the chest plate. Like, I am seriously impressed with that. Kind of makes you want to display them without the harness on, to be honest with you. Okay, kind of makes me. I don't know about you. Hey, but, you know, you can let me know in the comments below. How would you prefer to display this guy, with or without the harness? Now, if I find a second one on clearance, I might do it both ways. "40 years and still using the same technology, though, for the straps." Just to note, the hair is a different piece from the rest of the head. Actually, kind of looks to me like the head might be in multiple pieces, too. Possibly not. Just that hollow gap in there, if you can see that. So the head sculpt, I mean, it is the He-Man head sculpt, so it looks good. And the paint deco on this looks really good, too. Does not appear to have an eye wonk. Articulation-wise, God, his head really does look kind of small for the body, though. We have the chicken neck thing going on here. Ball joints, so we can spin the head all around, look down, look up, look sideways. The arm hinges up and down, and up and down, and can spin all around. It does look like they cheaped out on the deco here, though, but who needs it under the armpit? We do have a bicep cut, which spins us all around. Our traditional double-jointed elbow, which unfortunately they seem to be removing from the female figures. If they do that for that Tila, I am going to be really ticked off. We do have a spin here. The hand does have the up and down on the right side for holding the sword aloft. The other hand still has the in and out articulation. And because, oops, the shield will need this hand. Not that hand, that's a fist. We'll need this hand. We'll just go ahead and put that in place now. Yeah, by the way, we get the fist. I'm not a big fan of the fists, I'll be honest. We do have the boob cut, so we can wiggle it all over the place, which is pretty cool. So actually, the boobs on the Masterverse figures work like the waist on the G.I. Joe Classified figures. We do have a standard spin here, though. No ab crunch. The boob cut does allow for the ab crunch, and his harness is coming loose. So yeah, so we do get a ab crunch along with the boob cut. The waist spins, I think I just said that already. We do have drop down hips for posability. We can kick out, do the splits perfectly fine. The diaper is cut to allow for that, which also allows us to kick forward pretty far and only about back that far without sliding it off to the side. We are still keeping the thigh cut, which gives us that additional posability up there. Double joint at the knee. And of course the standard boot cut, hinge at the ankle, and a spin. So nice and posable. I actually, honestly, I think I do like the Masterverse Vintage Collection more than I liked the Classics Collection. Not gonna lie. We've got his axe, again, his sword, which we can just slide back here. Stick his axe in hand. And the shield, which... you know, as much as I do like the gripping hand and the rounded hand here for this, it is kind of a pain in the butt to try to get it on the shield, so... when it's on the arm. So we'll work it around here like so. So it looks like a thing from the Addams Family. Then we will push that into place. It is a shame, though, that they don't put any deco inside the shield. I would have liked to have seen some color in there. But yeah, this figure does look like a pretty good update for the Masterverse line of a Vintage Collection. I've seen the prototype pictures of Tila for this, which so far from those, I have not been impressed with what I've seen. I keep thinking that the Masterverse highly articulated, superposable Tila Vintage Collection is going to actually look worse than the Origins version does. Which, not to say that the Origins version looks bad or anything like that. I'm just saying that the quality isn't going to be as good, just from what I've seen on the images. Partially because I think they're trying to replicate some of the ways that she looked in some of the comics, with the snake head being a helmet separate from the actual ridges and stuff, if you know what I mean. But we'll find out when it comes out, or at least when photos leak, which will probably happen any day now, probably. But let me know what you think of Figure here below in the comments. That would be great. I'd appreciate it. I'm definitely glad they gave us the extra weapons, because the figure itself, in my opinion, I think it looks really good. You know, the overall on this one. Just, he looks really nice. I mean, it is just a repaint of He-Man with Skeletor's harness. it's hard to screw that up, but like they did an amazing job with the color variants and deco on the arms, legs, chest, and stuff. It just looks magnificent. So I think it looks better than the He-Man that came out color wise. So again, let me know what you guys think. And if you enjoyed this review, please feel free to slap that like button. If you want to watch more of my nonsense, please subscribe. I thank you for watching. Peace and love.